Girls around me were brainwashed into believing that this was okay. And I wanted to put out into the world, and so I tweeted to the girls that I grew up with, the girls that I know had abortions, that just because you have had an abortion, it does not mean that you don't have the right to change your mind. Don't feel like you have to exist in that purgatory. In fact, the reality of the situation is that these radicals, these people marching and screaming, they get all of the time on television. The people that are laughing at a baby, they get all the time on the television. But the truth is that a lot of these women are struggling because they've done something that they regret, like get an abortion, and they feel like they're never going to be able to join the pro-life side, that there's no red carpet, there's no welcome to them into the pro-life movement because they had an abortion. And I tell them that that's not true. And actually, if you've had an abortion, you can be one of the loudest advocates for life. A lot of those girls are suffering with the decisions that they have made. And so I put that out into the universe and just wanted to welcome them to the pro-life movement. And I got a flutter of emails from women who had had abortions thanking me for even putting that out into the universe, for saying, I have had so much regret and I do feel like I'm in this purgatory. And I want to skim through two of the emails that I received because they're so powerful. So this first email that I'm going to skim through, it says, "Hi, Candace. I don't know if you'll ever see this, but I saw your tweet saying that you would be willing to open your heart to any women who had an abortion any day of the week and that we don't have to follow the left. And that's something that I really needed to see or hear. I had an abortion last April when I was 8 or 9 weeks pregnant. I really didn't know what to do. I didn't want to get an abortion, but I didn't want people to judge me, and I didn't know if I was mentally prepared to have a kid. I was 19 years old, and it was with my boyfriend who I'm still with, and I'm able to have similar conversations as this with. I think a lot of young people like us get brainwashed to think that an abortion is not a big deal, or the whole it's just a clump of cells thing. I was trying to do research and I was very indecisive, even in the clinic, but I chose to do it because I know I'm indecisive and I felt like it was more moral to have it earlier than later in pregnancy. About a month or two after, I had the worst depression of my life. I was already depressed and I've gone through abuse through my life, but I've never ever been this bad. It felt like nothing was real. I was constantly afraid of dying and having existential thoughts. I didn't feel normal in my own body, and I felt so numb. I still struggle with some of these things, but I've helped myself a lot, and God has helped me a lot. I know I wouldn't call myself pro-choice, though, and maybe I would call myself pro-informed consent. I don't believe Planned Parenthood gets informed consent for women. Only a few states give mental health counseling before the abortion. Only a few states give you all the risks after the abortion. She goes on to say, my friend also had an abortion last year. Her mom and boyfriend pressured her too, and then she had a suicide attempt, but no one will talk about these issues. It helps, but I wish more people would also speak out about these things. Thank you for all that you do. This is actually, in my opinion, the average woman that we are dealing with when we talk about the pro-choice and the pro-life debate. We are dealing with women who were lied to their entire lives by a school system, and people that are pressured to get abortions, talking about a woman's right to choose. Most of these women are pressured into abortions. I've had people in my families. I've had people in my family get pregnant and their mothers say you have to get an abortion. Their boyfriends say you have to get an abortion. It's going to ruin my life. So this whole concept that's out in the universe of I did it for me. In reality, a lot of these women that are even getting these abortions don't know what they're doing, are indecisive, and are simply scared because of the brainwashing that is taking place in the school system.